The sun was setting over Chicago's busy streets when June Park walked home from basketball practice. Sweat still clung to his blue sports jersey, and his backpack hung loosely over one shoulder. The neighborhood buzzed with evening traffic, people rushing home after work, cars honking, and street vendors packing up their stalls. June was tired but happy. His team had won the practice match, and he had scored the winning basket. His mind wandered to the pizza he would eat when he got home, thinking about his mother's special homemade sauce. Suddenly, a commotion caught his attention. An elderly man in a gray coat was staggering near the crosswalk. At first, June thought the man was drunk, but something seemed wrong. The man's face was pale, and he clutched his chest with a look of pure pain. Without thinking, June sprinted towards the man. People around were just watching, some even stepping away. But June knew something was seriously wrong. As he got closer, he could see the man was struggling to breathe. "Sir, are you okay?" June asked, reaching out to support the man. The elderly man couldn't respond. His eyes were wide with fear, and he was gasping for air. June recognized the signs. This was a heart attack. Years of first aid training from his school's health class kicked in. June gently lowered the man to the ground, making sure his head was supported. He checked for breathing and pulse, just like he had learned in his emergency response classes. No pulse. The man wasn't breathing. June started chest compressions, counting in his head. 1, 2, 3, pushing hard and fast, just like the instructors had taught him. People started gathering around, some whispering, some taking out their phones to call 911. But June was focused. He knew every second counted. After 30 compressions, he tilted the man's head back and gave 2 rescue breaths. Then back to compressions. A nearby shop had an automated external defibrillator, AED. Someone handed it to June. He quickly followed the device's instructions, attaching the pads to the man's bare chest. The machine analyzed the heart rhythm and advised a shock. "Clear!" June shouted, making sure no one was touching the man. The AED delivered the electric shock. June immediately returned to chest compressions. Suddenly, the man gasped. His eyes flickered open. Color returned to his pale cheeks. Paramedics arrived moments later, taking over and praising June's quick action. The elderly man was stabilized and prepared for transportation to the hospital. "What's your name, young man?" one paramedic asked. "June Park," he replied, still catching his breath. The elderly man looked at June, tears in his eyes. "Thank you," he whispered. June just nodded, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. He had saved a life today. Little did June know, this moment would change everything. The man he saved was no ordinary elderly citizen. He was David Reynolds, a retired scientist with connections to a top-secret research facility. And June's actions would set in motion a series of events that would alter the course of human history. But for now, June was just a teenager who had done the right thing. He picked up his backpack, waved goodbye to the paramedics, and continued his walk home, thinking about pizza and basketball, unaware of the extraordinary journey that awaited him. The street returned to its normal rhythm. Cars continued to move, people walked by, and the evening settled into its usual routine. Only June and the paramedics knew about the dramatic moment that had just unfolded on this ordinary Chicago street. The next day, June returned from school to find an unusual envelope waiting for him. It wasn't like the typical mail his family received. The paper was thick, almost like expensive cardstock, with no return address. His mother was cooking in the kitchen, and his younger sister was doing homework at the dining table. June carefully opened the envelope. Inside was a crisp, handwritten letter on expensive paper that felt different from regular printing paper. The handwriting was neat but showed signs of an older person's trembling hand. "Dear June Park, you don't know me, but I am the man you saved yesterday. My name is David Reynolds. What you did was more than just a simple rescue. I want to meet you. There's something special about you that goes beyond your quick thinking and courage. I work with a research facility that studies extraordinary human potential. Your actions suggest you might be exactly what we've been looking for. If you're interested, use the enclosed invitation card. The address is on the back. Come alone and tell no one. Sincerely, David Reynolds. June's heart raced. The letter felt like something from a movie. Was this real? He turned the paper over, seeing an address in a restricted research area just outside Chicago. His sister noticed his strange expression. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Nothing," June mumbled, quickly folding the letter and hiding it in his backpack. That night, June couldn't sleep. The letter kept spinning in his mind. A research facility? Extraordinary potential? It sounded crazy, but something inside him felt curious. He had always been different, quicker to understand things, more intuitive than his classmates. The next morning, he made a decision. After school, instead of going home, he took a bus to the address mentioned in the letter. The research facility looked nothing like he expected. It was a modern building with clean lines, surrounded by high security fences and cameras. At the entrance, a security guard checked his invitation. "Mr. Park," the guard asked, scanning the card. "Dr. Reynolds is expecting you." The inside of the facility was even more surprising. Clean white corridors, advanced technology everywhere, people in white lab coats walking purposefully. It felt like a scene from a science fiction movie. An assistant guided June to a large meeting room. David Reynolds sat there, looking much healthier than during their first encounter. His eyes were sharp, studying June carefully. "Sit down," David said, pointing to a chair. For the next hour, David shared incredible information. He talked about genetic markers, unique human capabilities, and a special research program looking for individuals with extraordinary potential. He never fully explained everything, but he made it clear that June was special. "Your quick thinking wasn't just luck," David explained. "It's something more. We want to understand what makes you different." June listened, both excited and confused. Part of him wanted to run away, but another part was deeply curious about what David was suggesting. As the meeting concluded, David handed June another envelope. "Think about it," he said. "Your life could change forever." Walking out of the facility, June felt like he was in a dream. The mysterious invitation had opened a door to something he couldn't yet understand. One thing was certain: saving David's life had started something remarkable. Little did June know, this was just the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would challenge everything he thought he knew about himself and humanity's potential. The evening sun cast long shadows as June walked, the mysterious envelope tucked safely in his backpack, carrying secrets that would soon change his life forever. June arrived at the research facility early the next Saturday morning. The same security guard recognized him and waved him through. David Reynolds was waiting in a large laboratory filled with strange machines and multiple computer screens. "Ready to discover something about yourself?" David asked with a mysterious smile. The first test seemed simple. June had to wear a special headset connected to multiple computer systems. Scientists watched carefully, their eyes moving between June and the complex screens displaying various data points. "Just relax and try to understand the patterns," David instructed. What happened next surprised everyone. June started seeing complex mathematical equations and technological patterns that normally would take advanced computers weeks to decode. His brain was processing information at an incredible speed. The scientists looked shocked. Some whispered to each other, pointing at the screens. June could somehow interpret complex quantum communication signals without any prior training. His brain was creating connections faster than any known human computational method. "Fascinating," one scientist muttered. "He's doing in minutes what our best supercomputers cannot do in months." They tested June's abilities across multiple platforms. He could understand complex technological languages, decode intricate communication systems, and predict technological patterns with unbelievable accuracy. David explained that June's genetic structure was unique. His brain's neural networks were differently configured, allowing him to process information in ways no other human could. It was like June's brain was a next-level computing system disguised as a teenage boy. Your rescue of me wasn't just luck, David revealed. It was your brain's extraordinary ability to assess and respond quickly. Most people would have frozen. You acted precisely. Throughout the day, June underwent multiple tests. He solved complex mathematical problems, decoded encrypted messages, and demonstrated an intuitive understanding of technological systems that left the scientists speechless. During a break, David showed June some classified research documents. They were about potential alien communication systems discovered in remote areas. The documents suggested that humanity had intercepted strange signals but could never understand them. We believe you might be the key to decoding these signals, David said quietly. June felt a mix of excitement and confusion. Just days ago, he was a normal high school student worried about basketball practice and homework. Now, he was sitting in a top-secret research facility, apparently possessing abilities that could change human understanding of technology. The final test of the day involved a complex holographic communication system. June was asked to interact with a simulated alien communication network. Within minutes, he started generating response patterns that the scientists had never seen before. Incredible, David whispered. Absolutely incredible. As the day ended, June felt overwhelmed. His understanding of himself had completely changed. He wasn't just an ordinary teenager anymore. He was something more. A potential bridge between human knowledge and something entirely unknown. David gave him a special communication device. Keep this with you, he said. Your journey is just beginning. Walking out of the facility, June looked different. His eyes held a new intensity, a sense of purpose. He knew his life would never be the same again. The simple act of saving an old man's life had opened a door to an extraordinary world of possibilities. The evening sky seemed different now. Each star looked like a potential message waiting to be decoded, and June was beginning to understand that he might be the one who could read those messages. His phone buzzed. A message from his mother asking where he was. For a moment, June wondered how he could possibly explain what had just happened. Some secrets, he realized, were better kept silent. The research facility stood behind him, a silent witness to the beginning of something extraordinary. June Park, a teenage boy from Chicago, had just discovered he was anything but ordinary. 2 weeks after his initial tests, June returned to the research facility. David Reynolds looked more excited than ever, something unusual for the typically calm scientist. We've discovered something incredible, David said, pointing to a massive screen showing strange signal patterns. The screen displayed complex geometric shapes and rapidly changing color sequences. Normal computers had been trying to decode these signals for years without success. But June could see something different. As he approached the screen, the signals began to change. It was like the communication system was responding to his presence. The scientists watched in complete silence, their equipment recording every single movement and interaction. June touched the screen. Suddenly, the geometric shapes started forming clear patterns. What looked like random noise just moments ago now seemed to have a definite structure. The colors shifted from chaotic to organized, creating what looked like a complex language. These are communication signals from an Arctic research station, David explained. We've intercepted them for years but never understood them. The signals appeared to be from something non-human. They weren't radio waves or standard electromagnetic communication. These were quantum-level signals that carried incredible amounts of information in split seconds. June's brain was processing these signals differently. Where normal human minds would see random noise, he saw intricate communication patterns. His neural networks were interpreting information at speeds that defied current scientific understanding. The research team brought out special quantum decoding equipment. They wanted to verify what June was seeing. Each time June touched or looked at the screen, the signals became clearer. He's not just reading the signals, one scientist whispered. He's communicating with them. David revealed that these signals were potentially from an advanced civilization that had been observing Earth for centuries. They had complex communication methods that went beyond traditional human understanding. June learned that these signals contained massive amounts of technological and scientific information. Complex mathematical equations, descriptions of advanced propulsion systems, and communication protocols were embedded in these quantum signals. As hours passed, June decoded more information. The signals suggested that an alien civilization had been studying Earth, waiting for a moment to make contact. They were looking for a specific type of human who could understand their complex communication methods. "You might be that human," David told June. The research facility buzzed with excitement. June's ability to interact with these signals was unprecedented. He wasn't just decoding them, he was establishing a form of communication that no human had ever achieved before. By evening, June had decoded signals that revealed potential technologies centuries ahead of current human capabilities. Renewable energy systems, medical advancements, and communication technologies were hidden within these quantum messages. "This changes everything," David said, his voice filled with emotion. June felt overwhelmed. Just weeks ago, he was a normal teenager worried about basketball and homework. Now, he was potentially humanity's first quantum-level communicator with an alien civilization. The signals continued to flow, revealing more information. They seemed to be waiting, testing June's ability to understand. Each interaction revealed more complexity, more depth. As night fell, the research facility remained active. Scientists worked frantically, recording every interaction, every decoded signal. June remained calm, his mind processing information at incredible speeds. David looked at June with a mixture of pride and amazement. "You're not just reading signals," he said. "You're having a conversation with something beyond human understanding." June realized his life had changed forever. The simple act of saving an old man's life had led him to this moment, a potential bridge between humanity and an unknown civilization. The quantum signals continued to dance on the screen, waiting, communicating, revealing secrets that could change human history forever. 1 month after discovering the quantum signals, June's life had completely transformed. Government officials, top scientists, and military strategists now regularly visited the research facility. Each meeting revealed more about the extraordinary communication network June had discovered. The alien signals suggested a civilization far more advanced than humans could imagine. They had been watching Earth for centuries, waiting for the right moment of contact. June was that moment, a bridge between two worlds. During a critical meeting, June decoded a message that changed everything. The alien civilization was offering humanity a technological exchange. Advanced medical technologies, clean energy solutions, and space travel capabilities were part of their proposal. "They want peaceful communication," June explained to the stunned room of experts. "They've been waiting for a human who could understand their communication methods." David Reynolds watched proudly. The teenager who had saved his life was now potentially saving humanity's future. International leaders began to take notice. Diplomatic channels opened, with June at the center of this unprecedented first contact. The first official communication happened on a quiet Tuesday morning. June sat in a specially designed room, surrounded by the world's top scientists and government representatives. As he connected with the quantum signals, a holographic representation began to form. The image wasn't of a typical alien that people imagined. Instead, it was a complex geometric pattern that shifted and changed, representing intelligence beyond human comprehension. June understood its communication instantly. "They want to help us," June announced. "Not conquer, not fight. They want to guide." The proposed technological exchange was mind-blowing. Clean energy solutions that could solve global warming. Medical technologies that could cure diseases previously considered impossible to treat. Space travel capabilities that would take humanity centuries beyond current understanding. Global reactions were mixed. Some governments were excited, while others were suspicious. But June remained the constant, a calm, understanding bridge between humanity and this advanced civilization. News networks began covering the story. "Teenage hero becomes humanity's first alien communicator" became a headline that spread worldwide. June's life changed completely. He was no longer just a high school student but a global representative of human potential. Scientists discovered that June's unique genetic structure allowed him to process quantum-level communications. His brain worked differently, creating neural pathways that could interpret complex signals that no computer could understand. David explained to June that his rescue of an elderly man was just the beginning. That single act of kindness had set in motion a chain of events that would define human history. The alien civilization had been watching, waiting for a human who demonstrated both intelligence and compassion. As weeks passed, more information came through. The alien civilization shared knowledge about universe's complex structures, multiple dimensions, and communication methods that humans had never imagined possible. June continued his normal life alongside his extraordinary role. He still attended high school, played basketball, and spent time with his family. But now, he carried a secret that would change human understanding forever. International scientific communities began studying June. They wanted to understand how his brain processed these quantum signals. Medical scans, genetic tests, and extensive research tried to unlock the mystery of his unique abilities. The first physical technology exchange happened 6 months after initial contact. A small device capable of generating unlimited clean energy arrived at the research facility. Scientists were amazed by its complexity and simplicity. "This is just the beginning," David told June. "You've opened a door that humanity has been waiting to discover for centuries." June understood the responsibility. He wasn't just a messenger or a communicator. He was humanity's first true interstellar diplomat, representing the potential of human kindness, curiosity, and adaptability. As the sun set on another extraordinary day, June looked out the window of the research facility. The stars seemed different now, no longer just distant lights, but potential communication points, waiting to share their stories. His journey from a simple teenager who saved an old man's life to humanity's first quantum-level alien communicator was complete. The future had arrived, and June Park was its unexpected messenger.